Morning, guys. We are about to start our day with a run to Tractor Supply to get feed. My Tractor Supply has a hard time keeping feed on the shelves. Tractor Supply does not order their feed at a store level. They do it from their corporate office. So the amount of feed that's sold is how much the corporate office actually sends to the store. If you only order 5 bags, only 5 bags can sell though. So that is the problem. I have found a way around that, and I'm going to let you know here in just a moment when we make it to Tractor Supply what I have done to be able to get feed on my shelves at my Tractor Supply. We are in the car ready to go. I'm going to show you my car real quick, guys, and please don't judge me. This is about as redneck as it gets. I'm extremely OCD. My house is spotless at all times, but my car is a total different story. We have got deer antlers and a squirrel tail actually up there on the dash. We've got a possum's foot and tail and a dried up sunflower right there. We've got a turkey feather up here beside the garage remote, and got our camo steering wheel cover. It's pretty worn. My car is dirty, guys. I do not like cleaning my car at all. I mean, look at this console, and yeah, I smoke, so there is cigarettes all over the place in this thing. This is awfulness. Pretty ashamed of it, but I like it enough that I don't clean it up for some reason. But let's get going to Tractor Supply. Guys, I tried really hard. I have to drive right past Dutch Brothers to get to Tractor Supply. I love Dutch Brothers. Man, I love them so much. I've already drank a whole entire pot of coffee at home this morning, but since I'm driving past, I've got to stop and get Dutch Brothers. So let's get out of this car and go get our coffee. I come here so much that not only do they know me by name, but they also know my order. I don't even have to tell them what I'm... So here we go, guys. Let's get our coffee. So we got our coffee. We are getting back on the road. Just a slight little detour here. This is a blended caramelizer. I get 2 extra shots in it. It is so freaking good. Look at all my straw wrappers. That tells you how often I come here. I just throw my straw wrappers in the floor. There's a few over there, but man, I love Dutch Brothers. We have arrived. I am taking my Dutch Brothers coffee in with me because I do not want to leave that in the car and let it melt. So let's go in here and get our feed. Now, getting chicken feed used to not be as big of a problem as it is nowadays. There's a lot of people that are getting into chickens and poultry and all of that. So feed is becoming harder and harder to get your hands on. A lot of times, if you've noticed, if you go to the store, your feed may or may not be there like it used to be. So I'm going to show you these shelves real quick. We got an empty spot right here. This is for Nutrena Feather Fixer. We got an empty spot down here as well. This is the Nutrena Layer Pellet. We've got an empty spot right over here. This is the Dumar All Flock. Another empty spot right over here. This one is for Egg Max Dumar. We got just 1 bag of this organic Purina feed over here. 2 of that one. Got another empty spot here. Now this, I believe, is mealworms and stuff like that. And then got an empty spot right here. Just a lot of empty spots. Now, I use a lot of Purina feed. And as you notice, Purina is pretty good in stock because of me. I have been rain checking a lot of feed. And I will come in, I will rain check, let's say 10 bags sometimes, and I only need 7 of those bags, and I'll tell them to put the other 7 on, or the other 3 on the shelf, and I will take my 7 that I need for the week. Since they order from the corporate office alone, by putting those extra 3 bags on the shelf, that allows everyone else to be able to purchase those 3 bags and tells the corporate office that we're not selling just 5 bags, we're selling 8 bags. And I do that about once a month or so on different types of feed that I need. It got to where I was coming in here and I wasn't able to get my feed. I was having to drive to other Tractor Supplies 30 minutes to an hour away, and I got really sick and tired of using a lot of gas money and a lot of my time that I don't have just to get my feed. So if you rain check your feed, you are guaranteed to get your feed. And if you rain check just a few extra bags, that will put a few extra on the shelf for other people to be able to purchase for their flocks as well. All you've got to do is go to the customer service center in your store or call the customer satisfaction number, and I don't know that number off the top of my head, but make that request at your store if you are having trouble getting your feed that you are needing for your flock. So I've given my cart to the associate here at Tractor Supply. When you rain check your feed, what that means is they cannot put that feed on the shelf until you give them permission to. It is guaranteed to be yours. So this particular time I ordered 10 bags of Game Bird. I'm only keeping, I think I told them to put 6 of them on the shelf and give me 6 of them. So that way they have 6 extra for the shelf. And I ordered all flock. I cannot remember how many bags of that we did, but basically what I told them to do is give me half the order and put the other half on the shelf for everyone else that has quail and turkeys and chickens and all of that good stuff that need their feed. And this feed problem that I'm talking about may not be an issue for you. The majority of people more than likely buy a bag or 2 at a time. I don't. I spend $1,000 or more sometimes on feed every month, and I know several people that do that as well. So for those of you that do buy a lot of feed, you know exactly what I'm talking about more than likely. There has been a huge problem with getting feed. A lot of people are calling me asking me if I know where they can find it because they can't get it. And I've been telling them, rain check your feed, guys. You got to get more on those shelves. I don't know why the corporate office, if they have their feed order, let's say it comes in on Wednesday and they have 5 bags on it, and they sell those 5 bags by Thursday or Friday, why they are not registering to say, hey, we need more feed. We sold out of that feed very, very quickly. But you're going to have to help them realize what's going on. As I mentioned before, I use a lot of Purina feed, but I've been talking about Nutrena as well. Nutrena I use for my scratch and my meat bird feed. And I've recently bought 2 bags of layer feed. My girls seem to like it. I'm not switching them over to it yet completely. But I do need chick feed today, so instead of buying the Purina chick feed, I'm buying the Nutrena. I'm going to get 2 bags of it just to kind of see. But this is my cart, guys. This is how much you will spend on chicken feed if you raise a crap ton of ducks and chickens and turkeys and all of that good stuff. It is not cheap. A lot of people get into chickens because they think that they're going to save money on eggs, and that is not necessarily true. Feed is expensive. Look at these prices. You are looking at, on average, about 25 bucks a bag. Even if you go over here to Dumar, well, these are this is Cluck & Company. They are about the same price as the Purina. And let's see here, not seeing Dumar feed hardly. See, guys, they're out. Oh, they've moved it. That's what it is. They've moved it. It's over here behind me now. It's a little cheaper. I personally do not like this feed. It tends to be a little more powdery. So I try to stay away from that. I don't buy that unless I have to, but feed's not cheap, guys. If you think you're going to save money on groceries by raising your own chickens and having eggs, there is a lot of labor that goes into it. I don't know if you value your time, but you got to consider how much time you're putting into it. Water, food, bedding. Those eggs become very, very expensive at some point. And especially if you're just first getting started, you got to take in consideration the cost of your startup, the coop cost and all of that. It'll take you forever to recoup that money if you're thinking you're going to save money. But the upside to that is you have a way better quality of egg than what you're going to get at. We spent $310.38. That was with a $10 reward. I'll show you my cart one more time. We ended up adding 3 bags of pine shavings. We got 6 bags of Game Bird, 1 bag of duck, 2 bags of chick starter, and 3 bags of layer feed. And then my 3 bags of pine shavings. That is $310, guys. That will usually last me about a week. Like I said, if you have a very large flock, it's going to cost you a lot of money. I do supplement. They get scraps from the kitchen. They get pumpkins and watermelons and all kinds of vegetables, especially in the spring and summer when I'm growing a few things in my garden. My neighbors bring me scraps and stuff like that for them, but it still costs quite a bit of feed. Now, I have an unusual amount of chickens compared to most people, so keep that in mind, but it's not cheap. About having this many chickens is it keeps me in shape. Lifting these 50-pound bags, I'm stronger than a lot of men that I know, actually. I can carry up to about 300 pounds at a time, and I only weigh about 150 pounds, so I can carry double my weight. Guys, we got all that feed loaded. We're about to head home. You know, growing up, my dad used to piss me off. He'd always tell me that things are only as heavy as you think they are, or you're only as cold as you think you are. as hot as you think you are, or only hurts as bad as you think it does. And I hated it when he told me that. After I grew up though, I realized exactly what he meant and why he told me that. You can do anything you put your mind to. If you let your mind overpower you and talk you out of it, you won't be able to do it. So when he told me things are only as heavy as you think they are, you can lift it. If you're sitting there telling yourself this is heavy, this is heavy, this is heavy, it's going to be heavy. Same thing with the cold and the heat and all of that. He was smart. He was training me right, and I'm thankful for it now. But the moral to this video is, if you're having trouble getting your feed, talk to your feed store. See if they can special order it for you. See if they can rain check it for you. That's what Tractor Supply does, is they rain check it. If you're working out of a different feed store, they may not do rain checks or anything like that. But talk to them and get that feed on the shelf. Not only is it going to help you, but it's going to help fellow chicken raisers and duck and quail and all of that. So thank you for watching this video, and if you like it, please subscribe.